committee.
The committee put their heads together and they started their own thing.
Hey y'all, it's Izzy Harrison and you're tapping in with the committee.
What's up guys, this is Azari Stevens and you're tapping in with the committee.
Big shout out to the committee. Y'all hold it down for us.
Shout out to the committee. Come on, rocking with the committee. The committee. We committee.
Some people ain't gonna like it, and some people will.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the committee post-game show. I'm joined with UConn fan Greer and Maryland fan Shay. I don't know if this was exactly the heavyweight bout, preseason looking at the out-of-conference schedule that we had hoped for. We'll put it like that. UConn dominates this game, 80-48. I guess let's kind of just start at the beginning of this one because Shay, you put out a tweet.
You got to be specific.
Which is a terrifying sentence to say. I know. but you tweeted out, and I quote, "This is the worst quarter of televised hoops I've ever seen."
Oh yeah.
So that first quarter, what was going on? Let's just start there on both sides because it was disgusting. Frankly, it was not a good quarter of hoops.
I think it ended the quarter. It was 11-13.
Yeah, it was something nasty. It was bad. So let's kind of just start off with how this game started because I felt like both teams were really, really tight to begin with. So Greer, if you want to go first on the UConn side.
I think what you're seeing is just two teams who are coming off getting beat down in their last games, respectively, and it's like nobody wants to make a mistake, but you're playing so tight that you're making mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And so you play tight on offense. 11-13 defense is working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But on offense, nobody's finding a flow because you're just playing so tight because of you're still thinking about what happened in the last game. Nobody wants to drop 2 games in a row. You know?
Sure.
You're on national television as well. So I think mostly nerves. You know what I mean?
Ass. I don't even know what you want me to really say about it. It looked like we couldn't dribble and nobody could figure out who was supposed to shoot the ball. It was just very weird. It's like they forgot how to play basketball. And even though they lost to South Carolina, they played really well in the first half up until the 3-minute mark or something like that. This was like they had never played together before. So that was terrible. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to see no highlights. I don't want to ever watch. I'm glad that the big games are over. We need the games where we can beat up on little Mary Mac down at the street by 60 so we can have some confidence. Because right now, I don't really know what's happening.
Yeah, that's what's kind of weird to me is I think everyone was kind of obviously you lose Diamond, right? But it's it's Brenda. We kind of know not to doubt Brenda. But this team tonight, just you said it perfectly, I feel like there. The lack of confidence in this game was kind of staggering almost for a Brenda team, I feel like.
I mean, people have been waiting on Maryland to have a down year. Every year they look at the roster and they're like, everybody to have a down year. And Brenda figures something out to make it be where we make a Sweet 16 or Elite 8. This year might be the year that they got it. I don't know. Yeah. But, I mean, it's still it's early.
For sure.
But, there's very clearly a Diamond Miller-sized hole in the offense and the defense, and nobody has been able to fill that yet. And until they can, it's going to be blowouts when you play top-ranked teams. And it's also just the lineup. You got a bunch of 6'1", 6-foot guard post player in betweeners. You don't really have a point guard. You don't have no post players out there. Cheyenne's the one having to create shots for everybody because you got people on the floor who can't create their own. Some of them can't create their own shots
and score. It's just
right.
They're asking her to do a ton.
They're asking Cheyenne to carry, and it's damn, get her some help. So I'm interested to see how because Brenda can get a lot out of people. I'm interested to see how she can get more out of either the starters or a bench or something.
Yeah,
I like who is McDaniel? I think
Bree McDaniel. She's improved. She was in the gym over something. You could tell.
Yeah, it shows for sure. I think she can be, as the season progresses, a key player and contributor for Maryland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you kind of talk about it there, Cheyenne having to do everything. And I felt like Maryland didn't help Cheyenne at all, but I also thought UConn's defense was very stout today, and especially in comparison to NC State. Because both of y'all's teams were historically bad on defense for your program's perspective in their last games. I saw it on the broadcast. I wrote it down because I wasn't born last time y'all were this bad. For Maryland, it was the most points allowed since 2002. And for UConn, it was the most points allowed in regulation since 2001. Obviously, one team bounced back better tonight, but I wanted to kind of dive into UConn's defense because Maryland had 27 turnovers, but UConn had 16 steals and 9 blocks. Like the activity that you have to have on defense for that many stats to go in the box score, and that's obviously not even including other defensive aspects that don't show up in the box score. So, Greer, from your perspective, seeing UConn from last game to this game, what changed for you?
Will, like just sheer, like we know you have to play defense. Defense is what is going to get us to where we want to be come March and April. Like it was just one game they did not play defense. This game, they played exceptional defense. And it just shows like it's a mental thing. It's a thing that you have to commit to as a team and as players and then as a team. I think we held Maryland to 26% shooting this game, which is just like, and then the blocks, right? The blocks, 26%, I think they mounted up pretty quickly in the first half, right? Like, and then rebounding as well. Like, I mean, Maryland is just, they're like to Shay's point, like it's a bunch of 6'1" players. So like not supposed to be like super difficult to get rebounds, but like we were flying in to get rebounds instead of just like waiting for the ball to come in our laps, you know?
Right.
So just energy, effort. I mean, that's what they talked about in the preseason. Pregame press that they did, just like how disgusted they were with their defensive effort against NC State. And it looks like so far they've been able to correct some of those things. Yeah.
Shay, do you feel like it was more UConn defense or Maryland offense tonight that was the cause of 48 points?
It's both. Because, I mean, as good as UConn was on defense, Maryland just was not – y'all hesitating to shoot threes. Like, that's the one thing that all of y'all out there are good at. Shoot the damn ball. What difference does it make? If it's a brick, okay, well, we ain't going to get the rebound anyway, so get back on defense. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But, I mean, to me, if you're going to – I give UConn that credit, though, because they were just like, all right, well, Cheyenne ain't going to be the one to carry y'all. So who else is going to do it? And the answer was nobody. And she picked up 3 fouls, so –
yeah, that was huge. And kind of speaking to that, because I think she lost kind of the last part of the second quarter. I think it was like the last 3 minutes or so of that. But that back half of the second quarter was crazy because that's when UConn went on like that 20-2 run following the technical free throw or the flagrant free throw from Cheyenne. That's when everything changed. And I don't know exactly what just like clicked for UConn in that moment. But everything changed from there, and it just never went back. And I think
I know it changed.
Well,
wasn't it Paige that got called for the foul?
Yep. And then she popped off.
Here we go.
I want to tell you guys that tonight I was betrayed in a real way.
Oh.
Sitting on the couch watching the game.
Oh.
Cheyenne goes up for a layup, gets fouled. This is at the end of the game. And committee nephew goes, "That's who I'm cheering for." Her with the
I know that's right.
I know
that's right.
I look so hard to my left, like, excuse you? In this household? We bleed blue in this household.
Doing that for the team that's down by 40 is crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, he's 6 years old. We're still working on
right.
Right. He figured that part out right.
80 is more than 46. We're still working on that part, but what are you gonna do?
But no.
To Yana's point though, like the if you want to put Yana's thing on here.
Yeah, the freshman.
I like that.
Yeah, no, they came in and it was
went crazy, and Ashlyn and Ice. Ashlyn and Ice came in and just brought energy. Ashlyn hit a couple shots. I think Ice hit a couple shots, and it just Ice went from who both players. One of whom didn't even touch the floor against NC State and Ashlyn Shade. The other in Ice Brady, who was a highly touted recruit, right, who had to redshirt last year as a freshman, who played, I think, only 7 minutes in our loss to NC State, and like did nothing in those 7 minutes. And so it just shows like any day your number can be called. We're obviously down a man with AZ Fudd being out, and that changing our lineup just 3 games into the season. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, the freshman and KK played outstanding today too.
Yeah, KK was one of the standouts for me. I also was super impressed with Aubrey Griffin going into the starting lineup for AZ. I'm gonna pull up her stats right now because she had like 13 rebounds, 4 blocks, rebounds. 9 points. Obviously, like those are the type. And I wanted to ask you about that because I think you were pretty critical of AZ. Well, I know you were pretty critical of AZ prior to obviously wishing her all the best and hoping the best for that. But Aubrey comes in, and is it just a different energy that you feel like she brings? Obviously, completely different skill set compared to AZ, and different role entirely. But do you feel like that? What part do you feel like that played in the defensive shift today compared to NC State?
Well, I think it allows us to be just like ultra aggressive on the perimeter, right? And Aubrey also, I mean, we're also talking about going up against a Maryland team who, again, to Shade's point, like they're all the same size.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So like our ability to switch on defense, like we can do that like crazy. And then Aubrey, I don't know that there's like a more impactful person passing lanes in college basketball. Like has the potential.
She was
to
insane.
Be disruptive in passing lanes is Aubrey Griffin. I think she's one of the best, disruptors, passing lane disruptors in all of women's basketball. Yeah,
and it was interesting to me to see, like, kind of to that point, even just on a grander team scale. Like, Shay mentioned the shooters not really shooting, but they were so active in like reducing the spacing and where they were able to catch the ball to even get a shot up, things of that nature. Like the activity from UConn on defense, like I said, more than just the box score was already crazy. You can just look at that and be like, damn, they locked down. But what didn't show up on the box score made Cheyenne's life hell because there was really nowhere for her to go. I think she ended with 8 turnovers, and part of that, like she was just, I don't even really blame her for that because she's being asked to do so much. But I guess from now going forward for Maryland, what is it on the offensive side of the ball? Do you even like what is the next steps? Do we feel like, because obviously against these bigger teams, and more stacked teams, Cheyenne can't do it all by herself. Not in this way.
Tyler, the answer is prayer. I don't like. I think
and there might not be an answer.
They'll be fine. They'll be okay when they get to the Big Ten because the Big Ten is not like, other than McKenzie, it's not a bunch of bangers in the paint. But otherwise, like, they're going to have to make it a track meet. That's the answer to me. Is like, you got to box out. Somebody got to get the rebound. And as soon as it touches their hands, everybody got to run down the floor. You got to beat people up and down the floor. Because I don't know where else we're going to end up doing. But to your point about Cheyenne, like, they had her trying to, like, be Superman in the phone booth. Like the spacing was out of control. Like, there was just nowhere for her. There's nowhere for her to go. She's dribbling and she's like, well, you're here and you're standing here and you looking at me, so I don't know what to do. But Brenda's gonna have to do it. She's gonna have to put that suit and that bob on and figure it out.
She got a new coach purse. She needs to get in it.
Get in the bag.
She got the new coach ones, not the old monogram.
Yeah, she got the little pillow tabby. That's real cute. You know what I'm talking about?
There we go.
It's time for her to open it.
Yeah.
Get in it.
I don't know if it's just pace and space that she got to pull out of there. Like that's like when it comes to just like the makeup of this roster, it's just a very different roster compared to some of the ones that we've seen in the past years.
She could take a page out of the Warriors book.
Yeah,
like, other than Looney, they don't really have.
And that feels like the most logical direction, like just based on the size that they have on their roster and the shooting capabilities, like how good some of the shooters are. That feels like the route, because I don't really know the other answer, to be honest. Like that feels like the only
I'm
way.
the other answer. I talked to Brenda. She told me that she got a uniform for me and I could play the 5. So I don't really like. I'm gonna have to go back there. It's Thanksgiving next week, so I'm gonna have to go get in shape a little bit. But we got it. We gonna figure it out.
Hold the mac and cheese. That's
there you playing go. At the 5 with your 2 belt on around.
Yeah,
your shorts
belt
up.
Around, 2 belt wrapped around with my committee bucket hat on. Like I'm gonna cover all the bases. I do want to give a shout out to Cadence though. McNamara gang, Maryland, we in the building.
I love her game. I'm a big fan.
She impresses me every time I see her hit the floor. Like she's just long, rangy, and can just do. She's gonna be really good by her senior year.
Yeah. No, I've been very impressed, like with the way that she's. Like I said, I think I said it on Spaces when we were talking about all like the huge freshman performances that we've seen, which are obviously very impressive. But there's also other freshmen that are coming in and having immediate depth impact as well and being super impactful, even though it might not be the 30 and 40 point games. You're seeing freshmen come in like Cadence that are playing really, really good minutes instantly on stacked teams. And it's not even a big deal because we've seen some of the other freshmen, appearances that we've seen already.
I do want to see people try and go 40 for 40. Michaela got 4. Like Juju can hit 50.
Oh, I think it's gonna happen. Oh,
Juju can roll that
even
thing
Hannah,
out.
look, ain't Sony finna be out? Ain't Sony Citron finna be out for Notre Dame?
It's what it sounds like. Yeah, it sounds like it's
gonna
be.
Yeah, for real,
for sure.
But it's possible, definitely.
Yeah, and we still don't. I don't think we've heard anything on Olivia. Like they might not have any other choice. Like unless just letting her hoop. But don't worry, she gonna come off the bench.
Can't help but think, but Cadence is DD with a J. I think because you're equating to how they look similar, like they 2 puff balls, kind of long and tall. But I think Cadence can shoot the rock. Cadence can score the rock. I think her ceiling is higher.
Yeah. Yes. I think I agree with that. Like I said,
she's gonna be doing like the Exley thing all over again. Like who invented the Afro puffs?
Lady of Rage. Break Liz Cambage's record.
That record don't stand over here.
Yes.
But break it anyways.
Doesn't translate to American college hoops. So sorry, Magnolia.
But break it anyways. I wanted to ask you, obviously we don't know what's going on with AZ right now. That's still very up in the air. I wanted to ask you because you called Aaliyah Edwards' stats basically fake in the last post-game show. How viable do you see her as being? Obviously, with the way Paige is hooping, she's going to be the second option, scoring wise and everything. Do you feel better after seeing this game of her being capable of doing that, or are you looking?
Yeah, I like the way she came out today. I thought she responded the way you expect seniors to respond.
Mm-hmm.
But Paige just kind of caught fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then also for a player like Aaliyah, it's easy for like a Maryland team to like key in on her because we know she's 6'3". They don't have anybody of her size. Mm-hmm. So like we're going to send doubles and like, really try to disrupt her and make her night a little harder. But I think she still played pretty well. I know she didn't I don't think she came really close to doing like double digits rebounds.
No, she only had 4.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would like to see, that improve a lot because I think also like, we're not playing for accolades, but she said pretty clearly she wants to be an All-American again.
Yeah, I think she absolutely can be. That's what can be frustrating about it. Yeah,
you're gonna need to have the numbers to back it up too, though.
For sure.
So, I think there are other moments where she's going to shine very bright for the Connecticut Huskies this year. Mm-hmm. So it's not a big deal, but I felt better about her response tonight than I did watching them play on Sunday.
Sorry, y'all. It go down outside.
Your eyes got so wide.
It go down outside.
Surprised there's nothing happening over here. I be having people doing donuts and drifting and all that window.
Yeah, that happens here in Norman, Oklahoma too. For sure. So Greer, are you kind of thinking, assuming, which obviously we don't have any information yet, but kind of assuming that AZ will be out for a longer period of time, are you looking for Aaliyah to be that number 2 option, or are you looking at the rest of the depth on the roster, kind of what we saw tonight with the freshmen, and more of it kind of being a team thing to pick that up?
Well, I always thought coming into the season, one of our biggest advantages was our versatility, and I think Aaliyah is still, well, maybe not after tonight. But like I think if you look at the 3-game averages between her and Paige, I think they're still going to be like very close in terms of who's averaging the most points per game. And so I think there's just going to be times where we like ebb and flow, but like, ladies and gentlemen, Paige Bueckers is back.
I was about to say, I feel like we haven't hit on that enough. I was going to be my next question because
Like,
Paige is hooping.
In case y'all forgot, like she went 10 to 15 today, complete command, getting to the rack, playing incredible defense also. So I think like Paige is just kind of inevitable as a player, you know what I mean? But if you remember, like a big part of her game, and like, let's say if you had a knock on her previously, she's unselfish to a fault. You know what I'm saying? So I think knowing that, like, there's going to be times where she wants to get Aaliyah more points and rebounds and things like that, and whoever else on our team. So I think it's just an anomaly. Let's say that Aaliyah had 5 rebounds today, and I think 12 points or something like that.
And it's interesting because Paige only had 1 assist tonight. Like she's been on go this season, and has really been attacking and like taking this team, and like, I'm like, it's kind of reintroducing herself in a way to everybody. Like, I know y'all on Caitlin and everything, but don't forget who I am over here. And she's been scoring, and I've been enjoying. And I think that balance, and not even that I don't like what I'm seeing right now, but I think we'll kind of find that middle ground. But I do want her to keep up the way, especially the way she's been attacking, like just in all different types of ways and getting to the rim.
I mean, we scored 80 points, but I still think like the offense leaves a lot to be desired, you know, from a fluidity standpoint. So yeah, we've got like an immense amount of room to grow and to like integrate young pieces. I mean, hoping AZ, like it's just a insignificant thing and more mental than anything. But yeah, we didn't shoot like particularly well from 3 today. I don't think and we didn't take a lot. I think we took a lot more in the NC State game.
Yeah, it was 6 and 19.
So just kind of like getting back to basics a little bit, you know. And obviously defense, we know, leads to offense. Like that's not a euphemism for no reason, you know.
Yeah.
Kelly Price, I just noticed that. Oh my God.
I wish all the healthiness to UConn, because if y'all practice the way y'all play, every time I looked up, somebody was on the floor. Like I thought Paige lost the eye. I was like, I don't really understand what's happening here. Like if y'all practice like that, I see why. Like y'all got a lot going on. I need y'all to
maybe hit the ground hard. Like
like it's like y'all don't break falls. Y'all don't. No. It's just like if you going down, you going down. So I
at the what's the basketball place where you can jump with the trampolines? Like the
you gotta like get air or whatever.
Yeah, because y'all scary when y'all hit the floor. But I mean, y'all look. Paige is doing her thing. She's an effortless scorer. Like that's just one thing about her that is just always true. It's like when she get going, you don't think she gonna miss.
Yeah, no, it feels like it's just been that consistently, like throughout this season so far already. Like I'm just impressed with how fast she's been able to ramp back up. I think has been the thing that's been most impressive to me. That like there was no like grace period where it's like, okay, let me kind of ease my way into this. Like no, she's literally been on go since the moment she stepped back on.
And there may be times like I'm still bracing myself for the possibility that fatigue can set in for her too.
Sure.
You know, like you know, high energy. You want to come back, so you're giving it everything that you got. They're going to Minnesota to play her homecoming game on Sunday. We're going to the Cayman Islands too over Thanksgiving. So like,
I know Greer gonna be there.
I'm not because I'm not. But you know, travel will be ramping up. So like, I don't expect. I mean, I would be shocked really if she was able to keep up like this level all season long, having not played in 500 some odd days. But
what I wanted to ask you was, do we think UConn is going to take on the Kawhi Leonard plan?
The Kawhi Leonard what?
The Kawhi Leonard plan, where there's more rest and then we play and then we rest and then we.
I don't know if Gino would do that.
I'm just asking.
I don't see it because I just don't think Paige is that kind of player. I think what it's gonna be is like we want other people.
Yeah. Like
do things and be able to count on you guys. Like. It just it again, like that Herculean lift that shouldn't have to happen for 30 plus games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that'll be interesting to see. Like, because I mean, that's how we got into this mess initially, was Gino not trusting the team when Paige was in the game, so she was playing extra minutes. Was when this all happened. So it'll be interesting to see if that's the case. But we're not gonna go too long tonight, not too long. So Greer, closing statement on this win for UConn.
It's great just to not drop 2 games back to back. Moving on to Minnesota and the Cayman Islands next week. Felt good to beat Maryland, obviously, after losing to them last year, and beat them pretty emphatically. I think I read that Brenda said the defense was sensational. So Brenda is giving out compliments.
Hold on.
This season,
it's Thanksgiving. She's giving thanks to everybody that's whooping their ass.
What else is she gonna do?
So yeah, I liked it. I definitely want to go back and rewatch how our freshmen performed and how can they bottle that and keep it moving forward. And I would love it if it was like a different freshman each game. You know what I mean? Just like bringing that confidence to them, because they are very, very talented, and there will be plenty of opportunities for them to play and showcase what they can do.
Yeah. All right, Shay, to you, your closing statement on this 32.
Are y'all gonna play some? I'm sorry.
This is
the closing is that they play. I mean, it is like people got to step up. Like you got a bunch of the similar type of guards on the same team. Somebody has to be the 1B to Cheyenne's 1A, or the season is gonna be what it is. They play Syracuse at 9 a.m. on Sunday. I won't watch that. That Syracuse game is another one that they could lose if they don't show up to play. Then after that, they go to Cancun and they play Washington State, who shocked everybody in the Pac-12 last year. So they
retained a lot as well. So that's not a just
like,
and Wazoo has like a post that's pretty nice too.
Yeah, so they could easily like lose the next 2 games if they don't figure something out. So it's going to be interesting to see what Brenda is able to come up with between now and then.
All right.
I mean, and those can still be considered quality wins for them too.
For sure.
So
yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, if we do that, like Syracuse is a good team. They've been able to rebuild, the culture there. Washington State is ranked. So like if you get those games, that builds your confidence. Then after that is what Green Bay, UMass.
Was Creighton earlier. I don't know what ended up happening, but
I don't know if Creighton ended up losing that one.
How much did South Carolina? 109-40.
Yeah.
Well, somebody covered today, huh?
I'm about to say, I hope somebody put their let's see. Ioka and versus
Caitlin.
Yep, that's on now. Yeah.
Gabby Gregory.
I'm about to tune in. Gabby Gregory game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I gotta go check in at cornerback. They need me. They need me at corner, and they might need me at wide receiver.
Can you put the helmet on?
Travis.
Can you?
It don't fit over my, but I might got to go be Travis Hunter in Baltimore. So y'all be blessed.
All right, that's gonna do it for us on the committee post game show. With Thanksgiving coming up, be on the lookout. I think we'll probably be on a pretty decent hiatus through Thanksgiving and everything. So probably after Thanksgiving.
Get with your family. Go touch grass.
Greer's actually giving us some time off. So I think we'll probably be on Spaces Tuesday, and that'll be the last thing from us before Thanksgiving, and then we'll be back after. So make sure y'all are subscribed to the YouTube. Make sure you got the bell hit so you know whenever we go live or we got any uploads. We appreciate all the support for the YouTube. It's been incredible so far. So make sure y'all stay tapped in.
Dancing in our end zone, Tyler. They dancing in our end zone.
All right, we gotta go. So Shay can lock in.
I gotta
all right. All right, bye everyone.